when you're doing Tough Enough. Did you
Mhm.
think that like, okay, I'm just gonna try this, or did you think like, oh, I'm gonna be a wrestler? I'm like, what was like the thought process?
Bro, yeah. If you would have asked me back in 2000, how do you become a wrestler? That would have
Yep.
been tantamount to asking, how do you become an astronaut? Yeah, who the hell knows? I had no clue. I mean, and yeah, the internet existed back then, but to say that we had the search engines and the use of finding out information that we do now, it just wasn't the case. So I knew to become a wrestler, you had to go to wrestling school, but then what takes over after that? How do you progress from that point? Who the hell knows? So when the Tough Enough angle came about, um, I'd always wanted to do it. My buddies knew that I should do it. I came off of a college baseball career and still had that competitive fire within me. And we laugh about it still. I heard Jr. You ever want to be a wrestler? And I was like, yes. I literally was like he was talking to me. And fast forward to getting to, I sent the video. Oh my God! If you've ever seen the video I sent in, it's it's a minute to a minute and a half of the most embarrassing shit any human being could ever put down. I'm not kidding when I say this. Hold on, I'm dead serious. I'm first and foremost reading the torch, pro wrestling torch.
Yep.
I'm reading the torch. I put it down like I'm interrupted. This is in my video for Tough Enough,
Right.
and then go into my spiel. And it's one of those things that I'm sure you do. You look back on stuff from your
Oh
youth,
yeah.
and
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
It's embarrassing. Well, that's
Yep.
one of the things that's embarrassing to me. But I get to New York and I see all these just jacked up meatheads and I mean guys that are like 6'5", probably 260. Look like they were just chiseled out of look like a bunch of Batistas there.
Right. Right.
And I show up and I'm like, I mean, at the time I'm a sixth grade school teacher. I'm 6'2", probably 190 pounds. I mean, I'm in decent shape, but I'm in like like former college athlete shape. I'm definitely not ripped and ready to go on live television. And I'm like, I need to leave right now. This is not me. And I stuck it out, and once I won Tough Enough, I realized that yeah, there's a lot of things within professional wrestling that can be taught, but there's some things that they can't teach. And I think what made me have the upper hand was I had the intangibles at the time that you can't teach somebody. Whereas a body can be got. You can teach someone how to diet. You can teach someone how to work out properly. You can teach someone how to do all the moves. I tell people all the time the moves are the easy part in wrestling, but the psychology of it that's the part that separates the Danny Morrisons, the Al Snows, I mean, they're just amazing, amazing workers. Triple H, Batista, even guys like that. That's what separates them.
When you won, were you just shocked that you won? Because, like you said, you got 6'5" meatheads and like Vince
Yeah,
McMahon types. Were you floored? Like, wow, I can't believe I won this thing. Like, obviously, they're seeing something maybe you didn't even see in yourself.
I don't know if shocked is the right word. I want to say scared,
Hmm.
scared for the fact that I knew at that moment, right then, my life was never going to be the same. You have times in your life, we all do, where we know like like after this day, life's not going to be what it once was.
Yep.
I mean, I lost my mom in '04. She with her battle with cancer, and the day that she passed, I knew the life that I had before this, I'll never have that again in any way, shape, or form. That's what it was when they called my name was Tough Enough. I knew I'll never have this life that I had, pre Tough Enough ever again. Whether that's a good ride or a bad ride, it still remains to be seen at the time, but it'll just never be the same. Now, when I went to Tough Enough, I tell people all the time, Tough Enough got a bad rap, and it got a bad rap in the aspect of everyone thought it was the easy way to the business. You know,
Yep.
now what it was exposure. It was getting eyes on you that probably wouldn't be on you otherwise. Whereas normally most guys had to, cut their teeth in high school gymnasiums, riding the road, riding, up and down, wrestling for $50. Sometimes $50 would be a hell of a payday.
Right.
Whereas Tough Enough got you through that. But when we got there, I mean, it was pretty much a wrestling boot camp. I tell people all the time, 13 people started off on Tough Enough, 8 quit. 8 said, this isn't what this was my dream. It's not anymore. I want to go back to what I was doing. Well, John, I quit my job, sold my car, and canceled the lease on my apartment. If I didn't win Tough Enough, I was moving back in with my mom. So the option of quitting never crossed me. It literally never crossed my mind. The only way I would have quit Tough Enough was an injury. An injury would have had to take me out. And speaking of that, you want to know the thing that I'm most proud of with my Tough Enough run?
Yeah.
Not even the fact that I won, because what Tough Enough also proved was once you go through the system, win or not, if you showed promise, the WWE was going to take a chance on you. They were going to give you a job. I thought that showed a lot of class with them. I mean, think about it. From my Tough Enough one, I won, but Josh Matthews got a job and is still in the business. Chris Harvard, Chris Nowinski immediately got a wrestling job and was down in OVW within months. And obviously with what happened with him, with the concussions and stuff. I mean, I think life needed him in a different venue than professional wrestling. And my hat's off to everything he's meant to the world of CTE. So I could not be happier. I love when I see Chris doing interviews and I'm like, man, I beat his ass.
Yes, got him.
But so even if I wouldn't have won Tough Enough, I still wholeheartedly believe I would have had a job in the WWE. It might not have been, I might have been in developmental a little longer, but so I already went that far. I would have seen it through.
Yep. Even recently, Mandy Rose didn't win it, but she's from Tough Enough World, and look where she is, NXT champion.
Exactly. And Tough Enough. What I'm most proud of, what I was alluding to a few seconds ago, everyone in Tough Enough. When you get into the wrestling world, I remember the Hardys came in, Hardys and Lita at the time, and they said one thing that was the honest to God truth. They said, right now, if wrestling is your career, if you choose this and this is what you do for the next 20, 30 years of your life, how you feel right now is the best you'll ever feel again the rest of your life. And I don't think, my 24-year-old brain wrapped around. I was like, I feel great, I mean, aches and pains, but, nothing I can't get over. But they were right. That's the best I've ever felt since then. And then it's just constant. You're going to be hurting all the time. And what I'm proudest of is through Tough Enough, I never took off one day. I never took off one exercise. I never sat out one drill due to injury. And that's what I'm most proud of. That right there. Not even the winning. Without winning, I still would have had a job, I believe. But the fact that I was able to suck up, within me, the ability to look past an ache and a pain and just get the job done that I needed to. That's what I'm proudest of.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please help me out and like this video, then click the subscribe and get notifications buttons so you don't miss any of my latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Follow us on Facebook at the Hannibal TV for more live streams and videos. And while you're at it, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Hannibal TV.